Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So before we start this video, I got to make it well known, guys, that I do not personally think the OKC Thunder should trade away Russell Westbrook. I think he's one of those once-in-a-generation point guards that do not come around all the time. I mean, he's an absolute triple-double beast out there. Yes, the Thunder have not had great luck with him when it comes to the playoffs. They should have got a lot farther this NBA season, but I do not think that's a player you just let go. Now, that being said, this is a discussion we need to have, man, just because it's been going around the NBA media of NBA teams saying that the OKC Thunder should look to trade their superstar point guard. So guys, this is strictly just for fun, kind of a, like what if scenario type of thing. So if you are a Russell Westbrook or OKC Thunder fan, do not get extremely offended by this video, guys. What I do want to know in the comment section below is if you were a GM, what type of trade would you put together for your favorite team for Russell Westbrook? Or if you are a fan of the OKC Thunder, what type of players would the other teams need to give up for you guys to trade away your superstar point guard? I'm going to give you guys 5 NBA trades that I kind of think would make sense in this case if Russell Westbrook was on the trade block. If you guys can do me a quick favor and drop a like on this video, it would be greatly appreciated, as it does show support to my channel. Takes 1 second, and I definitely do appreciate it, guys. Okay, so the first trade that came to my mind was simply a superstar for a superstar, and that is Kawhi Leonard for Russell Westbrook. Both teams get a top 5 player back. I would love to see Kawhi Leonard on the OKC Thunder playing with Steven Adams, not to mention if they were to re-sign, Paul George, or maybe even go for somebody free agency like Terry Rozier. All of a sudden you got Terry Rozier, you have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George with Steven Adams. That team right there, man, is going to do some damage in the Western Conference. And what we get to see with the San Antonio Spurs is we get to see the all-time great coach, Greg Popovich, coach. One of the most kind of just, man, I do not really have a good word to describe Russell Westbrook, just his bulldozer mentality, man. It would absolutely be beautiful to watch, just because I think Greg Popovich could get Russell Westbrook to do Russell Westbrook type things, but more of in a calm and kind of a team basketball manner, if that does make sense. I don't know, man. It just seems like a good fit. I mean, Russell Westbrook, LaMarcus Aldridge, it's something to think about, guys. The next trade I was thinking of is with the Washington Wizards. So the Wizards did not really do all that great this past postseason. There was kind of hints of maybe breaking up John Wall and also Bradley Beal. How about a trade of John Wall and Otto Porter for Russell Westbrook? So pretty much the Thunder, they still stay relevant because they get a good, I don't want to say a young point guard, but they get a good prime point guard in John Wall, who gets a new fresh start. He's definitely capable of being a top point guard in the NBA. They get the young piece in Otto Porter, who is a great three-point shooter. Yes, it is kind of expensive. It's kind of an expensive move. With that being said, they are already paying a ton of money to Russell Westbrook anyway, so why not try it out? I mean, maybe even the Wizards toss in the first-round draft pick to sweeten the pot a little bit more, but just getting a really good point guard back, plus a good young piece in Otto Porter, plus potentially a first-round draft pick, would kind of make sense for the OKC Thunder. They would still stay competitive, and it would still be a nice destination for free agencies to go to. And then all of a sudden on the Washington Wizards, you do get Russell Westbrook in the Eastern Conference. You get him on the same team as Bradley Beal. I think that has some good potential. Otto Porter has a bitch-ass contract, guys. So, hypothetically, they would be able to work around and free up some cap space and go for a big-name center like a DeMarcus Cousins or a DeAndre Jordan to work alongside, Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Just gives both, 2-star point guards a fresh start out there, and I thought it would make sense, man. I would love to see Russell Westbrook try out his talents in the Eastern Conference. I think he could wreak havoc on it, guys. I really do think he could be a top 2 or 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, given the right circumstance. Okay, the next trade I have is with the Phoenix Suns, and that is a bajillion first-round draft picks for Russell Westbrook, just because all of a sudden Russell Westbrook will be going to a team where instantly it's just his team, right, man? Like, is Russell Westbrook going to do his thing out there? Also, Devin Booker gets himself a nice little mentor in Russell Westbrook to help improve his game, because Devin Booker's like 21 years of age. He's still extremely young. I really do think that Devin Booker can have or can learn a lot from Russell Westbrook, as did Victor Oladipo when he had his time on the OKC Thunder. He's even gone in interviews saying that Russell Westbrook did so much for his game. And the Suns get a player that is going to sell tickets for them. I really do think a backcourt of Devin Booker and Russell Westbrook could be something special. This team would still have a lot more moves to be made to really contend out there, but in the meantime, you get the triple-double B, so why not, man, right? All right, next up, we have a Miami Heat trade. This is one that one of my subscribers actually mentioned, and that is Goran Dragic, Dion Waiters, Bam, and 2 first-round draft picks. Now, I'm not sure if it'd be better to do Bam or Hassan Whiteside in this case. I think that's a discussion to be had. But yeah, the Heat, who always seem to do really well despite having just like a decent roster. Because you look at the Miami Heat's roster this NBA postseason, and none of the players really absolutely like wow you, just like, oh my god, that's a superstar right there, gonna carry this team to the finals. But at the same time, it's like, yo, that team was still kind of a dark horse for knocking out some top talented teams out there. So all of a sudden you get Russell Westbrook, team him up with the role players of the Miami Heat. You know, you got your Josh Richardson, and you got some other good, you know, Hassan Whiteside if he decided to stick around on the team, which in that case he might. James Johnson, Wayne Ellington, just so many good role players to play off of Russell Westbrook. As far as like egos of the team go, in this case Hassan Whiteside would probably have to leave, but just knowing that it's like Russell Westbrook's team, you have all these amazing role players around him, I think could work out perfectly for the type of player that Russell Westbrook is. It would bring more hype back to you know, the Miami Heat. So why not, man? Russell Westbrook on my Heat, and then all of a sudden, you know, the OKC Thunder, maybe it's in that sense, it's like, okay, it's time to actually go into a rebuild. You get Goran Dragic, who's serviceable. Contract will be expiring soon. Dion Waiters, kind of a bitch-ass contract, but when he's actually healthy, he's a pretty decent shooting guard in the NBA. You get Bam / Hassan Whiteside on the team, another good young center, or a serviceable center. Hassan Whiteside's pretty much all he is now, and also the 2 first-round draft picks to help the rebuild out. I thought that trade was actually a pretty nice offer right there. But finally, man, this one is just kind of more of a fantasy fun idea, and that is the Raptors trade DeMar DeRozan. I also tossed in OG Anunoby just because, like, you would need to toss in a good young player for this trade to go down. I don't think Raptor fans would quite be down for this one exactly, so maybe you could do some sort of other combination of players or draft picks, but pretty much like the bulk of the deal will be DeMar DeRozan, who, you know, at this point, it's time for the Raptors to blow things up in exchange for Russell Westbrook. So hypothetically, the Thunder would get DeMar back and also a good young player in OG or a draft pick, whatever way it would go. And it's just like, okay, man, it's just something different out there, right? Plus, if they get Paul George back on the team, then you got DeMar DeRozan, Paul George. Once again, that's a really nice team to work with. Where the Raptors, this is where it gets kind of interesting, because you still have Kyle Lowry on the team, who is more of a natural point guard. He would run the point guard position, and then you just freaking put Russell Westbrook at shooting guard, and he will just wreak havoc on the NBA, guys. But yeah, so these are a few trades out here that I was thinking of that I was like, you know what, man, these kind of make sense to me. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, which 5 trades you would like to see, or what type of trades you would like to see for Russell Westbrook if he were to go on the trade block. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.